is a motivational speaker, a community activist, and a Blythewood resident. Many of you may remember the Trayvon Martin rally that occurred earlier this year. It was because of Kyle Greene and his fire that made this happen. It was him who organized the event, and that rally brought thousands of people around the Midlands together and brought awareness to the injustice that affects all of us. It was a peaceful rally that showed South Carolina that we can all work together for the sake of equal justice. His passion is fueled by his divine purpose of bringing people together and pouring love into our youth, our community, and people. Please give a warm welcome to my good friend and huge Bengal fan, Kyle Aubrey Greene.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Good evening, my fellow Bengals. I promise not to be before you long because I realize that before even coming here, that this day and this moment, it doesn't belong to me. This day and this moment, well, it simply belongs to you. I want to start off by thanking you guys, amazing and always hardworking, got-your-back president, Ms. Mandy Mills. Thank you for being the glue and keeping all of this together. I would also like to thank you for extending the invitation to me to be today's guest speaker. And just to let you in on how excited I was, this speech has been written, rewritten, written again for about a month now. I would be remiss if I did not thank a commissioner, a man that not only serves the youth of our community significantly, but to a man that serves our great country proudly. Thank you, Coach Gray, for your service. I want to now thank the coaches, the parents, the sponsors, and to anyone else that gave freely of their time and of your checkbook, and helping and supporting, encouraging, and teaching these young men what it takes to be warriors on the football field. Lastly, to the players, I salute you. I salute you because I heard that before the season had ever started, before one touchdown was scored or one tackle was made. The theme of this season was legendary. Legendary is an adjective and it means described in or based on legends. I dug a little deeper to see what it also meant, and legendary means remarkable enough to be famous, very well known. Well, you Bengals, I can gladly report with much pride that your mission has been accomplished. Do you guys realize that no longer are you just well known in the small pocket of Blythewood, South Carolina, but organizations from across the Midlands, throughout our beautiful state, and even some in the Southeast know very well who the Blythewood Bengals are, especially when they bring the wood on the field. They also respect the tradition of winning and dignity that's associated with this program. Well, anytime or anywhere that I speak, I love to let the audience in on who Kyle Aubrey Greene is. Who am I? What's my story? And I love sharing my story. Many of you are in the early stages of creating your very own story. And I would always ask and encourage that you share your story because you never know who life your story is intended to impact. Well, I'm the byproduct of a community, a neighborhood, a village, which poured into my potential for greatness, really for no apparent reason then, but it's so clear and evident as to why they did it now. My cup runneth over, and as a result, I have always naturally poured back into the lives of others. I came from a mother who chose a life of drugs, a father that was there to supply all of my needs, but not never necessarily there for all of my wants. For an example, if I needed $100 for football registration, he would send the money, but if I just wanted to go outside and play catch, because he lived in the town over, I didn't always have that luxury. I came from a family that was probably middle class, not even considered middle class, but I came from a family that was well respected, and I came from a family that had a whole lot of class. I was raised by my elderly grandmother, a woman with very little formal education, but a woman that taught me so many profound life lessons. She taught me things like, in order to gain respect, you must first give it. She imparted in me that, Kyle, baby, when people treat you wrong, you ought to still treat them right. She imparted in me that anything that was worth having was worth fighting for. She built my spiritual foundation and filled it with the semen of love. Heck, I think this woman knew the beat of my pulse and you couldn't tell me she didn't know the number of hairs that covered my body. I am forever indebted to this amazing woman that helped turn that boy into this man. May her soul forever rest in peace. I was educated in the public school system of Jasper County, a school district that ranks almost in the bottom when it comes to students graduating from high school and entering into college. We rank in the bottom when it comes to students being able to pass standardized tests. We even rank in the bottom when it comes to students being able to read on their respective grade levels. I did not graduate from Harvard, no Yale. Heck, I didn't even graduate from the University of South Carolina. I'm a graduate from Benedict College, a college that seems to be only highlighted for our bad and never really showcased for our good. While at Benedict, I played football and ran track for 4 years on an academic and athletic scholarship. What some could consider as roadblocks, dead ends, trials, and tribulations, I saw my own shortcomings as advantages, opportunities, and stepping stones and fuel for my inner fire. In the early years of my life, I believe many of you in your present lives can either relate to or understand the story of my past. Maybe one of your parents chose a life of drugs, or one of your parents aren't there as you see fit, and you're being raised by a guardian or a grandmother who does so much with so few just to afford you an opportunity. I am one of you. I once sat where you guys now sit. I too played Little League football, and I was really good, might I add. But at an early age, I decided that football was going to be my avenue for success in life. Since my mother wasn't there, I used football to release my frustrations, to channel my pain, my anger, and my disappointment in her. Since my dad wasn't always there, I listened to the coaches that poured into me as a father would do to his son. And because I knew how happy to wake my grandmother, I would go out and score touchdown after touchdown. I would get interception after interception. I would make tackle after tackle just to fill the stat sheets and to go brag to her and see how happy it made her. This is the type of attitude that I want each of you to adapt to and take with you, just not on a football field or not in a classroom, but to take with you in life. Dare to be different. Dare to take what others may consider as your bad and use it for your good. I graduated elementary, middle, high school, college, all with honors because I knew without good grades there could not be football. So it goes without saying how excited and proud I am, and many of you guys, when I heard that the Blackfoot Bengals organization ranks in the top 1% of the nation when it comes to academic athletes. So again, I salute you. The game of football is not easy, and nor is the game of life. For me personally, in both, I've had to walk when I could no longer run. I had to crawl when walking was no longer an option. But one thing I could never do, and that was to give up. I understand that I had to grind it out, and guess what? You'll have to grind it out too, especially when the going gets tough. You have to grind on the football field, grind in your studies, grind in your chores, grind to gain respect. You have to grind, grind, grind. If you do not grind, you do not shine. I broke down the word grind, and I want each of you to know why it's so important to always get your grind on. The G is for go-getter. Remember what I told you, my grandmother always told me. Anything worth having is worth fighting for. If you want to be the best wide receiver, catch 100 balls after practice. If you desire to be the best quarterback, throw 100 balls to that receiver that wants to be the best. If you aspire to be the best kicker or punter, kick so many balls in practice that you can not just kick it far in distance, but you can control the direction and the ball placement and the accuracy. R is for resolve. Always be determined and steadfast in your approach. People that cut corners in the beginning in life usually end up losing on the end. I is for independence. While on the field you are a team, but in the classrooms and in life you are one mind, one body. Do not be easily influenced. I tell my own two kids, it's way cooler to start a trend or to be the trend than to just follow the crowd and to simply do what everyone else is doing. N is for noble. Always be honorable. Have class and walk upright even in defeat. Shake the opposing team hands, practice good manners, and always aim to do right, even when your parents, coaches, and teachers aren't around watching. Lastly, D is for determination. If you want to be the next Calvin Johnson or the next Tom Brady, maybe you want to be the next Ray Lewis, Aaron Rodgers, the next Adrian Peterson, the next Michael Orr, or you desire to be the next Clay Matthews. Once your willpower intersects your passion and you discover your purpose in life, you can become anyone or you can do anything that you set your mind out to do. My only question to you then is, why not see that that's you? Some NFL players make really good role models, but what's stopping you from being that next great role model? Just think, Marcus Lattimore, the star running back from the University of South Carolina, when he hurt his knee the last time against the University of Tennessee, because of his character, his leadership, and his humbleness, he captured not just the attention, but he captured the hearts and minds of an entire nation because people respected his grind. You too someday will have people that will look up to you, and I challenge you to always set a good standard for those that you are leading to follow. In closing, let me again say thank you. Thank you for having me to come speak before you and this legendary organization on today. Remember, a man that grinds the hardest always wins the greatest reward. Just how I love to start off by telling you my story, I always love to end by saying, aim to be great, and in the case that you fail, you'll still at least be doing good. Thank you, and may God bless you.
So what's everybody going to start doing? We're going to start to grind?
Yeah!
Can we give Kyle a very big thank you? Let's give him a round of applause.